Hello and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me in another of my wonderful interviews. Have you looked up into the sky and thought, apart from the chemtrails and all of that we know about, but looked up and thought, oh, look at the sun, isn't it lovely, shining down here on me? And then looked over there and gone, hang on a minute, isn't that lovely? There's the sun shining down. Well, I can't say that that's happened to me, but according to my next guest, there are more than one sun. And this has been going on for at least 12 years. And he's going to tell me all about it. My guest is Ian Welch. He is a healer, he's a builder as well, and an author. And he joins me now. Hello, Ian.
Hello, Richard. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm very, very excited about sharing my information that I've been gathering, especially about the twin suns, for over 20 years.
Well, it's very interesting because I have heard people talk about the fact that there is more than one sun. I haven't observed it myself, or at least I don't know if I've observed it. Maybe I have. And so it'd be fascinating to get some information on this and what it means, what we can do about it, if we can do anything about it, whether we take any benefit from it, and all of that. But first, let's just first of all deal that you're a healer. What kind of healing do you do?
I started with faith healing at the age of 19, and then I moved on to shiatsu, which is finger pressure, working with meridian lines around the body and acupuncture points. And then I became a Reiki master as well and became quite well known. I produced two videos which were sold all around the world, teaching people how to use Reiki. So my abilities is mainly I would say hands-on healing, and also the Zoom calls that I do with people all over the world. I'm able to fix people within half an hour just by tuning into them. I've been given many, many gifts right from birth, I suppose, and being made aware of it at the age of 19. And I've been on a quest and a search ever since to understand how I'm able to do these things that I do and why we become poorly sick and ill health. So when you understand how somebody or yourself becomes sick, you go to the cause, then you can fix it. And that's what
Yeah.
I do. So I've been studying this for a very, very long time, and it constantly keeps growing of a bigger awareness and understanding.
And just for fun, you also told me you're a builder, so that's quite interesting because some people might go, "Oh, all of this sort of spiritual stuff or this healing stuff is all a bit woo-woo," but you're actually sort of grounded as a builder. What kind of building do you do?
I'm actually qualified in all trades. So when I left school, I went into the building college and did painting and decorating, carpentry, bricklaying, and plumbing. And from that, I did another further 3 years just in bricklaying. And from that point onwards, I've learned all the other trades from other tradesmen that I employed when I was doing my extensions and building work for the general public. So I'm now qualified and skilled in every single trade. So I can build a house on my own without any tradesmen, and I do. And I have
Well,
built a huge healing center here for people to come and spend time at, which I've built all on my own.
so you're clearly a very useful bloke to know because you
Yes.
can have a bad back and have that fixed, and the roof can also be repaired at the same time.
Absolutely. And I used to freak out when I used to go onto big building sites. I used to freak out the bricklayers and the labourers if they had a pain in their arm or their knee. I wouldn't even have to touch them. They'd be on the scaffolding, and I'd go, "Oh, somebody said you got a bad knee." So I'd tune into that person, and I would fix their knee, and it really would freak them out, and it would scare them.
Yeah.
They would look at me really strange. Oh, weird you are. Yeah, I know I am.
But grateful not to have the pain in the knee, I should imagine.
Absolutely. But they would
Yeah,
see them walking around with their wrists or their knee, they're just going, unbelievable.
that is incredible. Well, listen, we better get on to the subject because I know you said there is loads to talk about.
Oh, masses, masses. I mean, we're definitely going to need to do another show to stimulate people even more with this information. Well, I'm going to start
Fantastic.
with the twin suns. So this came to me about 22 years ago, and I've gone into a deep trance vision. And my son was there, my friend was there, and this went on for half an hour. And what I was seeing in front of me was like looking at a video screen in full color, and I saw spaceships all around the world landing. I saw people getting on the crafts, etc. That timeline now is not happening because something else has changed and shifted. But within that vision, I saw two suns in the sky. And so they took me back, as I say, a few months within that vision to see how that sun was born. Now, our sun is liquid metallic hydrogen and it's plasma. There's no gas, there never has been. There's no flames, there never has been. It is pure electricity and it's liquid. So what I saw was the sun was being born, how a cell divides. So when you see a cell as one, it goes bloop, and it goes into two, bloop, into four, and so on. Our new sun was born directly from within our sun, and it just literally just went bloop, obviously very slowly, because
Does it does it
go
does
on.
it make that noise?
It does if you're listening, only if you're out in the in space. I think I'd be crapping myself if I heard that bloop
Bloop.
out of space. I'd have to go, what the heck was that?
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got to have fun with this, and I love it. I love it. Keep going things like that because for me, I teach with fun and laughter and joy. This shouldn't be serious, even though it is quite a serious topic.
Yes, I do get told off for either. I mean,
No,
I didn't
don't.
think I interfered too much in the conversation, but people do. They do say, "Oh, shut up, Vobes." Let this. But I'm trying to interpret it and also, add
Have
a
some
little
fun
bit of
with it.
fun. Yes,
Absolutely, I quite
I want
agree.
people to watch to the end.
They will. They will watch to the end. So anyway, in this vision, I saw this son born from our sun. So our sun is the mother. The new sun is actually masculine. And I do this with I use dowsing rods. So I ask
Right.
questions with the dowsing rods. So I've been a very, very skillful dowser for many, many years. So I ask a question, and if the rod's open, it's a
Let me
yes.
see if that
If the
will play
rod's
the whole screen.
closed, right, it's a no. So that's a yes, and that's a no. So then I do a lot of research using my dowsing rods, and I'm asking questions yes or no. So
Right. Oh,
our new sun is
let me just.
masculine, according to the rods, and then it sat there for some time when it was born. In the vision, I saw it move across, and in that particular vision, it wasn't very good for planet Earth. But things have changed since then. So if you buy this book, right, which I wrote, Empowering the Atomic Body, the Universe Within. Right. Now there's a timeline in there, and I want to talk about timelines as well. There's a timeline in there which is not accurate anymore because it's shifted, because humanity is now gone into the golden age, and I just dowsed a minute ago, we're at 78% 5D collectively. All right.
What does that mean? 78 what percent of people?
No, 70% of energy.
Oh,
So
right. Okay.
basically, we've come from 3D, 4D, and this is where diseases and negativity thrive, is at 3D and 4D. The next stage of evolution is 5D.
Hmm.
So what I've been trying to teach and enhance and to bring this happening forwards for humanity is 5D, five-dimensional frequency. So it's a bit like a radio set. We're adjusting our dial to come away from 3D, 4D to then vibrate at 5D. When we vibrate at 5D, you cannot be sick. It's impossible. You cannot suffer with cancer or any serious diseases because 5D is above that frequency.
Right.
Coming back to the twin sun, when I saw this moving off into the distance, into its new position in the vision 22 years ago, all kinds of things were happening with the planet, but that's changed and it was going to go tits up basically. Now, let's come forward to today, or even 3 years ago.
Hmm.
NASA photographed a huge sphere next to our sun, about 64 times bigger than planet Earth. And then I don't know, some years later, the NASA also then photographed or videoed plasma being pulled from the sun into this sphere, this huge sphere. So now I'm always asking, right, well, what is it? What is this
Hmm.
sphere? Is this good for humanity? Is this good for Mother Earth? Or is it bad for us? It was very, very positive for Mother Earth. And then I said, well, what is it? What's it doing? I was then shown and told that the sphere was coming to protect Mother Earth and surround Mother Earth during the movement and the process of the birth of the twin sun. So the twin sun, as it moved off into its trajectory in its new position, the extra magnetic gigantic pull from a new star upon our planet, it would have harmed us. That was my first vision I saw
Right.
2 years ago. But that's now changed because something humanity has done collectively has changed the timeline so that we stay on this planet and that our planet is protected by this sphere. So when you're seeing two suns in the sky at the moment, they're not our suns. When you're seeing just one sun in the sky, it's not our sun. And I don't know how many thousands of people around the world have been saying that's not our sun from about 3 years ago. It's too white. Everything seemed like we were walking around in a cartoon. It was just
I was going to ask you, was this because people have been saying, the sun has changed colour. It used to be orange, and now it's very white. And then when they said that, I was like looking up at the sun, and I'm myopic, and I've only got one eye, and actually I can look at the sun easier than most people that I know. Because they find the light too intense, but for some reason, whether it's to do with myopicness, I can look at the sun and see it. I can tolerate it a bit more without burning anything out. At least that's what I think. Who said that? I don't know. Where have you gone? And it is, to me, it is a lot whiter. So there is definitely something in that.
and also the sun has been communicating with like a Morse code. I don't know how many videos I've taken. I saw a clip on YouTube where somebody was videoing the sun and it was flashing, but it wasn't like do do. It was like do 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 do. So it was like tapping out a Morse code almost
Wow.
program. So I thought, well, I'm going to try that. So I videoed the sun. It was doing exactly the same thing. Then it would stop, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Then it would start up again. Now, I was being told that these are programs being sent down to planet Earth to help stimulate the movement towards 5D. So the sun is, as you look in the sky, that's not our sun. It's a holographic image, including the moon, including the stars, because we're inside the sphere. Now, the sphere is going to move out of the way, and then we will see two suns in the sky forever, for the rest of our lives, for millions of years. It's a natural part of evolution for a solar system, one star, one sun, to become a binary system, two suns or two stars, a natural process. But because we've been infiltrated by the dark side, the reptilian race, for 20,000 to maybe 100,000 years, we've been dumbed down and we've been messed around with a long, long, long time, removed from the natural harmonics of the universe. So we are now back towards that process of coming back into harmony with the universe, and that will come in line with the twin suns. Now, with that in mind, one sun, seven chakras. So we look at one sun, you split that with a prism, it goes into seven colors of the rainbow. That's coming from that pure white light from one star. So logic states if we've got two stars, then we should have 14 chakras. We do. And I checked this and discovered this about 10 years ago. No, 10 years ago. And I discovered that we've got what I call 5D intercostal chakras. And these are basically in between our chakras that run down the center of the body. So we have an extra seven chakras linking with the new star, the new sun. And this has to be that way. Otherwise, we couldn't function. We wouldn't be able to survive if we did not have the chakras matching the light frequency from a new star, then we wouldn't be able to function in this binary system. And it's not just us, it's all plant life, fish life, water, trees, you name it. Every single species, life form on this planet is upgrading to 5D. And this is coming forwards with the twin sun. The dark side know this, and that's why they're through fear mongering, they're trying to distort this evolution that we're going through. So when we as a human race follow a particular pattern or a story on the internet or anywhere on mainstream media, then we follow that and that dumbs down the species, it dumbs down the light, and we cannot then move forwards.
Hmm.
So what I teach, and it's always positive. So if you go onto my Telegram channel, masses of free knowledge and information constantly. It's all positive, trying to uplift and upgrade humanity. And this is where we need to be. And I'm going to do some magic here today on your show to help that coming forwards. We must be resonating at 5D, which will then change the timeline. We're quite solid on the timeline that we're on with two suns, binary system, extra chakras on the body, and so on and so forth. And when we reach that process, then that's it. It's the end of ill health on this planet.
Wow. You talked about the other sphere and the two suns, and we'll see them every day. What do you know roughly when that's? I mean, is it in our lifetime?
Yes, I'm hoping it's going to be this year because
Oh, right.
you're going to be a major part of this, Richard, because you're going to be stimulating through people watching this show with me, with you. This was going to teach people how to come into 5D, and I'm going to teach that shortly. This will then add to that weight of light. That's what we need. We need an extra boost of light to get from 78% collectively to 90 plus. And once we reach that, there is nothing the dark side can do. There is nothing councils, governments on this planet can do to change that. We are too bright at that point. At the moment, we're like this. We're hovering round about 78%. And that is, we need to shift that weight towards 90%. When we reach that, then it's going to be rapid. Then we're going to go straight to 100% very, very quickly. So this is what I'm hoping that you and I will achieve during this show.
Wow. Well, more than happy to facilitate as much as I can. Just before we do move on, because there's this new sun, and you say about the dark forces know this. Would there be any connection then to the spraying of the skies that they're doing to sort of cloud over stuff? Is that to hide the sun, possibly
Uh,
the second sun?
it's also to bring fear. If you can bring the human race into a state of fear, they're not vibrating at 5D, they're vibrating at 3 and 4D, which is exactly where the dark side needs you. Now, if you
Right.
were to go outside of these major cities where, inside the city and you look at the sky, yeah, there's this the spraying is awful. But if you go outside of that, you'll see that the skies start to clear. And it's like down here in Cornwall, the skies are crystal clear. Now there are creatures which I've got many videos of and photographs of that naturally fly around in our sky, and they are indigenous to this planet, but they vibrate at such a high frequency and fly very, very fast that the human eye cannot catch them. In America, they call them silver rods. Now here they're more grey and black rods, but they actually help to clear up the atmosphere and in the sky, and they eat these chemicals that are being sprayed. Not all of them are bad. There are some
Right.
guys up there spraying some good stuff. I've checked with my rods, and that is the case. But ultimately, what they're trying to do is to get you to look up, to be fearful. I wish I could digress at the minute because the knowledge that I could share to help people clear the sky is mega, absolutely mega, and it's so simple. This is working with divas, but maybe we need to do another show on that to teach people how to clean and clear the sky above your head, and it works, and it's magic. All right, so
It's
yeah,
not. It's not the white vinegar.
no, it's this is spiritual stuff. This is mainly
Right.
I teach people about the word I choose. When you use the word I, all of the atoms in your body will stop what they're doing and listen to you, and they will respond to your next request. So if you say, I choose to be well, that is what they will respond to. If you say, I am sick, I am poorly, I am unhappy, that's exactly how your body will become. So this is the power of thought in a more understanding way, more scientifically. So don't say the word I followed by anything negative because
Yes.
you will empower this. So
Yeah.
stay with the positive affirmations constantly when you use the word I. But no, what I would do is teaching people how to look at the atoms in the sky and change them. Everything is made of atoms, and when you communicate with the atoms and do it in a way with enough intention, you can change the atoms. How a drink tastes, how food tastes. This is all what I teach.
I mean, that's very interesting, and I have to say that's where, sort of, after 2 years of talking to so many different amazing people, I'm beginning to realise that everything is down to the vibration and energy and the consciousness and the intent, and many, it would seem to me that many of the rituals or some of the devices that people buy are really in and of themselves helpers to focus your consciousness and your intent,
They are
rather than.
indeed, but there's something I want to share about that. Now,
Hmm,
there are devices out there that are called the Rife machines, which I have many of, scalar machines. There are other devices that create harmonics for healing and so on and so forth. But this is where you need a little bit more knowledge to make sure that you're not harming yourself with these devices. These devices are set at 3D, 4D frequencies. They're not vibrating at 5D. So when
right.
you connect to them, it will actually bring down your frequency from 5D to that frequency. So what I teach people is you look at the device, you ask the device to come up to and in harmony with the most highly evolved aspect of you, right? And it will. The atomic structure of that device will respond to your request. I choose for this device to come up to and in harmony with the most highly evolved aspect of me. And I ask that the programs coming from them match 5D. And then you can actually change the frequencies coming from the device that you've got to assist you, and it will be 100 times more potent. But if you, it's like with anything, if you're working with frequencies, frequencies are constantly changing. So when the Rife machine was first discovered 80, 100 years ago, that was 3D concept. That was a 3D frequency. So you shouldn't be using a Rife programs from way back then because it will change you now to then.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you must communicate with the programs held within the Rife machine or the program within the computers and ask it to come up to and in harmony with 5D and you. Right? I choose for these programs to come up to and in harmony with the most highly evolved aspect of me. You need to do this with your food, you need to do this with your water. Otherwise, those programs that are going into your body will change how you operate, how you function, how you vibrate. Food is a program, water is a program.
Mm,
Okay, so that water, as it goes into your body go, oh, is this how you would like me to be? And you will become those frequencies because you put it in and your body is trusting you. The atoms are trusting you to do the right thing for them. So by becoming aware, this is where we need to be aware with the correct intention, you can transform your life and your body. And it's free because it's all
mm.
about intention and awareness and understanding.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, thanks for that little sidestep there. Let's
Sorry.
get back to these.
Yeah.
No, no, no. That's all good. It's people will be on the edge of their seats, taking in as much of this information as they can, crying out for more. I know. So let's go back to these twin sons. You said you were going to do something, and
Yes, I'm going to do some magic for everybody, and this is a gift from me. If you go onto YouTube and just type in the Healing Master, the Ian
mm,
Welch, I actually give free healing, right? And that's been going for about 10 or 11 years. It's at about 28,000 views now, and the testimonials and feedback is extraordinary. So what I want to do now is a similar sort of thing, but I want to help people that are watching this to come up to 5D. I'm already feeling this. Right, my whole body is changing as we do this. So I'm going to have my hands facing the camera like this. So what I want everybody to do now is focus on my voice, focus on the screen. I want you to now take three good, long, deep breaths. Same with you, Richard. Take three good, long, three deep breaths, please.
okay.
Relax. Each time you exhale, relax and let go. I want you to state now, everybody watching this, in your mind, I choose now for my four bodies to come into harmony with the most highly evolved aspect of me, you. Now focus on something you'd like to have healed within your body. and stay focused on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place energy into my hands inside a ball of light. And I'm going to ask that this energy vibrates at the most highly evolved aspect of 5D. And I ask now that all that receive this, their bodies come up to the most highly evolved aspect of 5D. Now, yeah, I- I'm getting a kickback from the energy that people are going to be receiving from this. As you give, so you shall receive. And that is the beauty of this program that I've just given out. There's something else I must state as well. This is really, really important. And yet people, if you're good with muscle testing, with kinesiology, if you're good with your dowsing rods or pendulums, I want you now to ask, right? Ask if I'm correct with this statement. When we become a binary system, when we see two suns in the sky, all karma will be forgiven. Instant karma will take its place. This is what is going to heal the planet. If we don't have this instant karma, then all of the scum on the planet, all those that want to steal and harm and hurt, will still be there. But when we reach instant karma, then they will judge themselves. This is the only way this is going to heal Mother Earth and humanity, and placing humanity on the most gorgeous path of love, abundance, manifestation. And that is going to be coming from instant karma. Right? This is what I've been given and what I've been told. And this is what is going to help to heal Mother Earth. Otherwise, you're still going to have people out there wanting to steal from you, take from you. Greed is awful. It absolutely destroys everything. So, see, I'm hoping that this is true. Everybody so far has got a yes with this one. I'm hoping that people will get the same thing.
Wow. Okay, that sounds very powerful. It'd be interesting to see in the comments if when people watch this, because obviously this is pre-recorded, but once they watch this, if they are feeling anything any different, or they're feeling the healing power, or they've tested it with, as you said, with the rods or presumably pendulums, whatever way they get affirmative or negative feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you ask something about pineal glands. Now this is going to blow your mind. This really will if we've got time to talk about
Mm.
this. Now, we're all aware of the pineal gland in our brain, in the center of
Mm.
our brain. It's been spoken about throughout ancient history. You know, the brain has been sliced in half this way, and the Egyptians have taken that image and placed it as a sacred eye, and so on and so on. The pineal gland has been shown all around the world in hieroglyphs, in stone carvings, in effigies, you name it. It's on top of the Buddha's heads, the pine cones. So the pineal gland is extraordinary and very, very important. There is enough information held within the pineal gland to construct and build a universe.
Wow.
That is
Okay.
how powerful the pineal gland is. And when you reach and stay in 5D, which is quite difficult at the moment to stay in 5D, because as soon as you become negative or fearful, you jump out of 5D and drop into the frequency you've chosen or subconsciously chosen, which is 3D, 4D. So by staying in 5D, you then start to connect with the higher vibrational knowledge that's held and stored in your pineal gland, in your brain. Now, I've been given information that there is a pineal gland in the throat chakra, that there's a pineal gland in all of the chakras, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the base. There's one at the just below your feet. There's one that sits about 2 inches above your head, which is the crown chakra. So about 2 inches above the head, yeah, about there.
Yeah.
That is where the upper chakra will be, the pineal gland will be, but that's more in a spiritual form. The other chakras are actually in physical form. inside the body. So people have been saying for a long time that the stomach is a brain. It's
Mm.
very, very aware, and that's because it has a pineal gland. And this goes with all of the chakras, and this information is not shared out there anywhere. So what I'm able to do is to help people to reawaken these pineal glands within the body. And it has to be done in a specific order. Otherwise, it could be very uncomfortable for you as you start to develop. But yeah, these extra pineal glands, as they all come together as one brain, that's where we start to become gods in human form. This is where we truly, deeply become highly evolved. And my goal is to get everybody there, right?
Blimey. So I mean, you say it's in all in these different parts of the body. So would we see that in anatomy? And
Yes,
it's
you would
what is
see
it?
that.
It's been missed some way,
It's
or
not been missed, no, that you've just not been told about it. It's like you've been
right,
told that the heart is a pump. It's not a pump. It's never been a pump, right? Even Leonardo da Vinci drew in his drawings that it's not a pump. It creates vortices. It's a vortex machine. The heart is there to stop the blood. It's not to pump it. So as the
right,
blood travels up one side of the body and comes into the heart stops it, and then it sends it back on its way full of vortices. So that bump bump is the heart stopping the blood traveling around the body. So you've got veins and arteries and capillaries that fly around the body, and there's enough to go around 3 times around the planet if you stretch them all out, right? That's
God,
impossible for a little tiny heart in your body, that pump, to pump that around the planet 3 times.
right,
Absolutely
yeah,
impossible. Right, so that's an incorrect statement by the medical industry. In fact, everything we've been taught is not right. It's we've been given misinformation to dumb us down, to take us
yes,
away from the truth. So your heart produces vortices, and those vortices hold tremendous power of information, of magnetic forces, positive and negative ions, etc., to flow around your bloodstream through the capillaries, the arteries, the veins, to stimulate the power spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally. That is what the heart does. So yeah, there is a pineal gland there. There's a pineal gland in every organ, not, every chakra that we have on the body. And it's awakening those that creates this tremendous knowing. And then you
mm.
can actually communicate with those pineal glands to change and transform your internal organs.
So people say that our pineal gland, the one in the head, has been calcified.
Yes, correct.
Now, never quite know what they mean by that because I always think of my kettle furring up,
Same as that.
and and then thinking, well, what you need is one of those decalcifying tablets that you shove in the thing. And
I
I
wouldn't
have
suggest
yet to
that.
find the flap in my head where you put one.
Yeah.
Um,
Right, okay, let's check yours, right? So this is
yeah.
what I can do with the dowsing rods. So I'm going to ask you for the calcification in percentage around your pineal gland, right, in your brain.
Okay.
So 5% calcified, yep. 10%, yep. 15, yep. 20, 30, 40. I'm going in percentage. 50%, 60%, 70%. 70% calcified. That's your pineal gland.
Bloody hell.
Yes, so this is where so your pineal gland obviously is not functioning where it needs to be. So the courses and classes that I run is to help decalcify through intention, through the correct words, to decalcify the pineal gland in your brain and others around the body. It's all about communicating with the atoms of the calcification. And this is how we do this. And it's extraordinary. But again, it has to be done in a gentle way. You can't do all of them at the same time because you wouldn't function.
Hmm.
You'd be so
Well, I'm
overpowered
more than
with
happy
power.
just to have at least the old the Bonts one done.
Well, we could
Um,
do that, after the show. I can teach you how to do that, and you'll feel it straight away.
Gosh, okay, that sounds good. Um, so yeah, so how is it comes about that you get a calcified
It's
pineal gland?
through the poisoned food, the poisoned water, the poisoned air. It's been going on for a very, very long time, and the dark side knew that once your pineal gland starts to awaken, you then connect to the universe and all that amazing knowledge that's free, which stimulates the pineal gland to open up like a library of information. So what they do is they put these dreadful stuff in the food like aluminium, mercury, copper, lead, all these heavy metals, other programs as well that are designed to dumb down the pineal gland. It's just all a part of that same process. It's what we're eating, basically.
Mm.
So you can change that. So even if you can't afford good food, if you look at the food before you eat it and ask that the food is, you ask the atoms of the food to let go of and remove all harmful programs. And then you bring the food up to in harmony with the most highly evolved aspect of you and 5D. And that way, the food will taste so different. And you can do this with an experiment. You cut a banana in half, place one to one side, work with one half, and ask what I've just stated with that banana, taste it, and then taste the one that you've put to one side. They'll be completely different. And the one that you've worked on will be sweeter, more vibrant because you have communicated with it. So
Right.
that's how the pineal gland becomes calcified, is through what we're eating. And
Yes.
cigarettes, alcohol. I'm not saying you shouldn't smoke and you shouldn't drink because I love drinking. And Sue, my wife, she makes homemade wine, and that's all I have. But I'll still make sure that it comes up to my frequency and above. So that's when I know that my programs are not going to be changed within my body.
Right. Oh, that's very interesting. I mean, I do buy farm food. I don't go, I mean, I haven't now for a long time gone to a supermarket or bought any sort of nutrient free food. So, doing my best on that front. And we do try to filter the water, and I've got a water machine that reverse osmosis it as well.
All right.
So,
Let me
doing
give
a,
you a little bit of quick knowledge, right? This is going to really boost your osmosis machine. So anybody that has a bottled water, say you've got a bottled water from the shop,
yeah,
let's imagine that's bottled water from the shop, it's dead. So when you drink that, your body will pee it straight out. It won't recognize it. It's dead.
yeah,
It's been in the box, it's been in the shelf, it's been in a warehouse for a very long time, and it's completely dead. And your body will go, "What is this?" And it will just pee it out. So you will not hydrate with bottled water. But there's always a way around it, right? Always.
right. Yeah,
With your bottled water, shake it, right? Stimulate and activate the water molecules in the bottle. Really shake it up. Place it to your heart. Ask it to come up to 5D. And you do this before and after, right? And you will not believe the difference in the taste. And then your body will go, "Oh, I recognize this." It will then absorb it and it will go into the organs and into the bloodstream exactly where it needs to go. So, with your water that comes out of however you're doing it, Richard, make sure you vibrate it and hold it to your heart, and you will have the best water entering into your body, which will then transform the organs within your body, the blood within your body, and then your bloodstream will be able to work and function in a better way because your water is much more highly evolved. So put stuff in your body that's highly evolved.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No, well, that obviously makes a lot of sense, and you're consciously doing it by bringing it up to the highest version of
you.
your you.
Yes,
As- Yeah, so that's in tune with your frequency.
absolutely. That's the key. And the dark side don't want you to do that because they want you to be, down, dumbed down.
Yes.
There
Well,
is
we.
there is one more thing that I would love to share.
Mm,
I'm not going to mention anything like that, but I know the stuff that people have had in their arms. Is it
mm.
okay to say that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
We've
right.
all been. Well, not all of us. I mean, I haven't, but
Yeah.
many
So
people have
anyway, all
had
right.
the dodgy stuff.
This is going to blow your mind, right? Big time. And I want to share this for free now because I want people to become well. This is what Ian Welch does. I want you to become well. So what I want you to do now, imagine now, close your eyes, imagine now that you are going to communicate with the atoms and the DNA strands within your bloodstream and your body. So make a connection now. So any foreign substances that have entered into your body, any foreign substances, ask the atoms and the DNA strands now to let go of. and remove all foreign, harmful programs within your body. Ask it to be dissolved, neutralized, and sent to the universe. Now, okay, now that will work, guaranteed. I do this with children and people all the time, and it is transformed their lives. Now, the reason they designed this thing that went into your arm and into your body wasn't just to harm you physically, but it was to harm you spiritually. When you have this thing in your arm, guess what happens? And I can see this with my psychic vision. Your spirit is separated from your body. Then, if you're a male, it stands to your right hand side. If you're a female, it stands to your left hand side, which means that when you die, the dark side can retrieve your soul. It's called soul retrieval.
Hmm.
All right. And that's the whole process. They are trying to build up a battery storage of your soul or souls. But this is what you do. Ian always has a formula to help and assist to empower you. And this is so simple. I choose now for my four bodies to come back to me as one.
You said four bodies there.
Mental, emotional, physical, spiritual,
Right. Mental, emotional, spiritual. Hang
and
on. Do that
physical.
again. You did it very
Mental,
quickly.
emotional,
Mental.
physical, and spiritual.
Yeah.
Any one of those bodies can harm you if it becomes diseased in any way. And the only way you'll find that out, it will reflect upon your physical body. Thus, by stating, I choose for my four bodies to come back to me as one, your spirit body will then come back into your body. So by removing those programs, those foreign programs, then bring your four bodies back to you as one. Those of you who are watching this who are sensitive, it's just going to make you cry because you'll realize that your body is not, your spiritual body has not been in there. So bring them
Gosh.
back, and that's what you've done.
Some people may watch this and say this is all too simple. It can't possibly work. What do you say to that?
I would say it needs to be simple. It really does. I've spent 43 years to make this simple. The knowledge that I have accumulated in all these years, you would not believe, Richard. You and I
Hmm.
could spend 5 hours and it would, if you had hair, it would curl. I have chosen to make this simple. Why make it complicated? Because then
Uh,
your head gets in the way and it can't be done.
No, no, I totally agree with you. It's just I'm not saying I'm psychic or anything, but I can see the probability of certain comments coming up, going, "This can't be true. It's too simple. It's got to be," because
Yeah,
we've been dumbed down to the point where things that might achieve success, let's put it that way, are a complicated dance of moves, and actually things that are very simple are not as effective. But I would say potentially the reverse is true of that, that
yeah,
the more simple things are, after all, once you've learnt how to drive, you're no longer, and it's habitual, it's so simple you're not even aware of it because
exactly.
you're driving, and we've all done this, I'm sure. You've driven a couple of miles and gone, hang on a minute, how did I get here? I wasn't even
Yeah,
aware. But you've not crashed, you've not veered off the thing, your subconscious has just kept you going because it was very simple. So I take that, but I mean, I have to ask that because I know what people are like, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, surely it's got to be more complex than that." So
no,
the key
keep it
thing there,
simple.
keep it simple, stupid. The I, the word. I mean, what I've taken away from this, if I take nothing else away, is this command that you're giving, where you said the I. When you say the word I, all the atoms, I think you said, suddenly start to pay attention,
Yes,
and then I choose whatever it is, and if you keep that positive, that's what's going to happen, as opposed to, God,
exactly.
I'm feeling
I
tired,
mean,
or I feel
Dr.
wretched.
Emoto, a lot of people know his work, which is the hidden messages within water. Now, this is
I've just read that book actually.
right. Well, I've got three of his images in my book. right? So
Oh,
this is one of the images that he found, and basically what he did is he showed a test tube full of pure water, a crop circle, and when he froze the water, that's what appeared, a
wow.
UFO.
Hmm.
So water is intelligent, highly intelligent, because you're working with the atoms. So when you use the word I choose, the atoms will respond to that request. So the atoms within the water molecules of the test tube from Dr. Emoto's work was communicating with that crop circle, and the crop circle was speaking to the atoms of the water molecules, and that is what froze and what was seen. So this can be done time and time and time again. Keep it simple. Work with the atoms of the molecules of your blood, of your body, your skin, your teeth, your bones, etc., etc. And you'll find that this will help to heal in a very, very simple way. Again, go onto my Telegram channel, please, and just there's masses of free, powerful knowledge and information. I try to do as much as I can for free. I've still got to, like yourself, Richard, I've still got to make some money coming in. But yeah, ultimately, if you haven't got much money and you want this knowledge, the Telegram channel is Ian Welch Golden Age. And yeah, there's so much there to help you guys out with that one. But yeah, keep it simple. Ian Welch has got a catchphrase: "Go big,
Go big.
go big." And
I noticed there on a couple. Sorry, I'll let you carry on, and I'll come back.
yeah, so basically at the moment I'm going small. If you think this is big, this is not big, right? I can take you so big that yeah, it's going to need quite a few shows to get this across to bring you to the most divine creative being that you could ever imagine. And that is my goal. And people that know me and been following me, they will be going, "Yep, that's what Ian does."
Well, there we are. I'm sure people can vouch for you in the comments. I was going to say, you talk sometimes, I've noticed several times, in the third person, like saying Richard Vobes does this and or Ian Walsh does this. Why do you do that? Just curious.
I'm in communication with some extraordinarily highly evolved beings, really, really big beings, really highly evolved. And they give me information. If there's something like a question that you asked me or one of your followers asked and I didn't know the answer, then you'll see me go, "Oh yeah." And literally it would just drop straight in from these beings, and I would then relay that answer to the question that's been asked. So that's what I do. I'm in constant contact with them, and whatever I share and whatever I do always has to build upon foundations of truth. What I see as truth, and I know it's to be true because it empowers people,
Mm.
right? So whatever I do, it always empowers people, and if it doesn't, I know it's not true. So I build upon truth of empowerment, and that's when I know that what I'm teaching is truth and accurate because it empowers people, never takes their power away.
Well, we've learnt a lot in the last 50 odd minutes of the show. The two sons. What's happened to the mother son then?
She's still there. She's still going to be there. We are going to have two sons, but she will be in. She'll be upgraded because it's all about upgrades. And ultimately, from being 5D, when we reach 5D, Mother Earth's already there. The sun is already there. It's humanity that's not. Most of humanity is already at 5D, and that's what's created the 76, or sorry, 78%. But after people have watched this, I can guarantee it's going to jump to at least 85%, if not more. Because if you everyone asking for their bodies to come to 5D, the most highly evolved aspect of 5D, then that is going to boost that huge battery of light upon the planet. And that is where we need to be. And then that will create that reveal of the twin suns. Now, there's one video out there been showing three suns, and this has come up on the horizon from one of these stationary video cameras up in the Arctic. What you're seeing there is the sphere's sun, the holographic sun, plus the two suns outside of the sphere.
Wow.
Right now, I've got a video of the moon setting over the Atlantic because when where we are, we overlook the Atlantic, St. Ives, and Penzance. We're really high up, And then literally 4 hours later, the sun is behind me sorry, the moon is behind me in the sky. It's just
Yeah.
set about 5 p.m. over the Atlantic. And then that same evening, it's back up in the sky behind me. That's not possible.
No.
And the reason
Well,
why it did that was because it's a holographic image. I've been asking for as much evidence to give to humanity to prove that we're inside a sphere, that the moon is not our moon. We've never needed a moon. That moon is a complete foreign object and has been since it arrived here 10, 15,000 years ago or more. That is not a part of our planet. It's not indigenous to us at all. It's a foreign megastructure purely designed to remove the frequency of the universe from humanity. That's no longer there. That's been, God, I've got so much to share with you. Can I quickly talk about parallel universes? Have I got
go on
time?
then. Go on then. We'll get you back and we'll do another show.
You
But
need to. I mean,
if you,
unless you want to finish now, and we can finish on a high. But I would like to talk about parallel universes very quickly because
yes,
Nikolai Tesla states, when stated, if you want to understand 369, you have to understand our universe. To understand our universe, you have to understand 369. So, right, I'll
okay,
use this dowsing rod as a timeline. Okay.
right,
If we imagine here is universe number one,
yeah,
two, three, four, five, we're about here on a gigantic timeline. Our universe is 369. So the universe behind us is 368, 367, 366, and so on. So the
mm,
universe in front of us is 370, 371, and so on. So Nikolai Tesla understood that way back then. To understand 369, you need to understand our universe. That is the number of our universe, 369. We're about to evolve and jump, it's going to take a bit while yet, into universe 370. Right? So behind us, the universe 368 is quite a lot lesser evolved than we are. I've been told that the moon, that structure, that megastructure, has been taken back to universe 368. It's no longer a part of our system. It's gone.
and so you said what we're looking at is a hologram. Is it
Yeah.
sort of like the memory, like a ghost of it?
No. Let's imagine, we see holograms in Star Trek and like the holodeck in Star Trek.
Right.
Same thing. So basically, the sphere has the technology to create these images, like entire star systems. So we look up and we see the star systems. People have been saying that star system hasn't moved. What's going
Yes.
on? There's so much evidence out there to prove that we're
So,
inside the
so is
sphere.
this when people say we're on a flat Earth and this is the firmament around it, the sphere?
No,
No.
there's no such thing as a flat Earth. I'm sorry, all you flat Earthers, I do apologize. That's your journey. If that's what you want to choose to see. I've been outside in the universe. I've been outside our galaxy. I've seen our planet. She's sphere, big time. No, basically, the sphere was to protect us, if you remember, from a gigantic electromagnetic pull from a twin sun, from another sun.
Right.
So
Right.
that's come along specifically to protect us. And then when we jump into 5D collectively, then the sphere will be removed. We will no longer need it. But at the
And who?
moment,
I mean, and you say it will be removed. That implies that there's some other power putting these things
you've got
there.
it. I'm so glad you asked that question. Brilliant. I've been waiting for you to ask. Well done. So, yes, there is a sentient being that is connected to this sphere. And this sphere was constructed a long time ago, probably beyond most people's comprehension. And it's purely designed and built to protect planets. This is a megastructure. And when you look at something like the film, it's called Moonfall, and there's so much truth in that movie, as with most movies. The moon was a megastructure in the movie, and our moon, or the moon that was around our planet that's gone, that was also a megastructure. So these megastructures, like this sphere that we're inside at the minute, is purely through a sentient being that is with divine love constructed to protect us. It knew it was waiting for the timeline to shift and change before it came in. because our timeline could have gone in any direction, right? So it's gone in a direction which is the most perfect for everybody. If it had gone the other way, then we would have had to been removed off the planet in masses and masses of ships and taken to another Earth. But that was no longer a timeline that I saw that is happening. It's this other timeline that is way more beneficial for humanity.
This sentient being, is that what we might call God or something like that?
No, that is a big, big topic. Please
We'll
ask
have
me
to
that
come
on the
back.
next one. Yeah, that
Right.
again, this will blow your mind. Again, I've seen it. I've seen it, experienced it, felt it. I've had communications from directly from God with information that's taken me 6 months to assimilate, and it's a long time ago, mind you. And so, yeah, I can explain about that, but these questions are just going to send me on a different track, and we'll be here for another hour.
Yes, I can see that. Well, we better draw this one to a close, seeing as we're about 55 minutes in. It's been fascinating to hear all of this. There's a lot to, even though it's very simplified, which you have done very well, just to sort of get one's mind around the concept of this, I guess, for a lot of people who are coming in perhaps from a much more physical 3D world existence. But I know that my audience is very much open-minded, as much as I can be open-minded myself. So I appreciate it very much. So thank you. It's been very great, Ian.
You're most welcome. Again, I've got so much to share, masses of knowledge, and I'm looking forward to. I'll give you a lot. I'll give you topics to help you out. I'll give you topics that I'll talk about, which then we can always digress and move on to bigger topics.
If people want to get in touch or they want to go to your website, where would they go?
Well, the only website that I have is that very simple one for healing, but ultimately go to Telegram.
Right.
Right, and it's Ian Welch Golden Age, and there I've got lots of products that I've created myself with the help of God to stimulate, to heal, and again in the most simplified way and in the cheapest way possible. All working with programs, frequencies, and dimensions. And this is what I do: is trying to make it affordable and as cheap as possible and as simple as possible to help people become well. Because when we're well, we reach 5D naturally.
When just before you go, then, and I want to keep high, but I must ask this: when you say you've worked with God, a lot of people might think that's perhaps either egotistical or a bit too much of a statement to swallow, and of course that might put people a bit skeptical. That in the end, it's all about money and things like that. How would you answer that? He says,
Well, God is not a person. Without a doubt, God is definitely not a person. It's not a he, it's not a she, it's not physical in any way, shape, or form. It's light. It's just a light source that encompasses every piece of information and knowledge of evolution throughout eons of billions of times of eons. It's just, it's extraordinary. It's like in looking at a light source, but as you look at the light source, it knows everything. It is everything. It becomes everything, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. And when you connect to that, as I have done, I didn't ask for that, it came
mm,
to me. And I say it took me a long time to comprehend it and accept it, because, like anybody connecting to something like that, yeah, right, okay, go away. I'm not interested in that. It's too much ego going on there.
mm,
But when the knowledge starts to build up within you and you realize it's not ego, it's truth, and you're here purely to assist and help humanity in a pure divine way, then I don't mind saying God, the word God. You can call it, I don't know, a divine creator being, if you like. It's the same thing. Or a light
sure.
source, it's the same thing. Or Allah, if that, whatever you feel that entity needs to be called, then that is it that works well with you.
Ian, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you for the last hour. Thank you so much. And we will talk again. And it will be interesting to see the comments. And of course, if anybody has done those things, they've managed to sort of open their pineal gland or they've decalcified them and all of that, love to know. Keep the comments in the keep the thing in the comments, because at the moment my emails are overwhelming, but I'm always happy to read there. Ian, thanks again. I hope you've got something out of that, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, I'll be back with more monologues and more wonderful guests. Until next time, from Ian and myself, thanks for watching and
Cheers, guys.
goodbye.